Thank you very much, Rob. Obviously, it's been a very long day. One final map to go. And we'll see which team is, of course, going to take on Sharper tomorrow. Guys, honestly, right now, I've just seen Twitch. They put up their prediction. I don't know who I would throw my channel points on. Tell me, who should I put it on?
I don't know. I think it's very tricky to discern who's going to win this one. I think the first couple of rounds are going to be telling, though. If Kira can recover from that second map, come out of the gate strong, we're on for a banging matchup. Otherwise, I do see Roffle potentially steaming away with this one.
Rightio. By the way, someone in chat said I look like Carl Urban. I'll take that one. Thank you very much, Robert J. Monday. Moving on, Kira Esports on the defense to start off here on Clubhouse. And I've got to say, if it plays out a little bit like Oregon, more so than Bank, I agree. I think Kira's got themselves a bit more of a chance here. But Roffle, it's hard to look past them. If I had to put my channel points on them, I'll probably go Roffle. But I think we may even go to OT. I'd love to see an OT here, guys. I think in some ways the series deserves it.
Thatcher off the board in combination with Habana once again. Clubhouse, much like Bank, pretty hatch dependent, so clearing those two operators can make life a little bit more challenging on the side of the attack. We'll see both teams likely lean into the Ace and the Maverick, maybe even a bit of Thermite as well, like we did on Bank. Now, in terms of defensive bans, I would probably expect Valkyrie to be doubled down, or I guess at this point tripled down on by these teams. That's the case. Ruffle, again, not wanting to play it. And this leaves a bit of opportunity for Kira, I think, to maybe be a bit spicy with their pick. Do we see maybe Mirror Sneak through like we did last time? There's a bit of scope here, I think, for them to get creative. They are starting on the defense as well, so they can dictate terms nicely. They're not going to take that risk, though. And that's going to be a bit boring. It's going to be a bit expected. Mirror off the board, and those four operators as a whole. Yeah, nothing really to highlight.
Stock standard is probably the best standard, though, for Kira Esports coming here onto Clubhouse. They don't have the best result on it. 0 and 2. We have to go back probably to the start of 2021 at some point. I mean, the results only go as far as back as July here on the Dev Mata TM match tracker. Those results, 6-8 loss on Clubhouse to Mercenaries, and a 4-7 loss to the Hunters back in October as well. And obviously for Roffle, much better results, 3-1 since July of last year. So you can see the stark contrast between the two teams. And I think just that alone kind of leads you with more faith for Roffle. But Kira being on the defense first, at least this first half, we will get a bit of an idea as to where they're at here on Clubhouse. And of course, if it plays out like Oregon, and if there is a bit more of that structure to the matchup, I think that will favor Kira way more than what we saw in Bank.
Looking at Kira's lineup, though, here for the first round, we are going to see Thunderbird reintroduced into the composition. Has seen a little bit of play here and there. I believe it was Doctor most notably on the previous map, where he was single-handedly responsible really for winning one of only a couple of rounds that Kira did manage to collect there on the last map. And just generally, Thunderbird, extremely strong operator, allows other players on the team to aggress elsewhere, come back to site, heal back up, then roam again once more. So quite an interesting dynamic to contend with, and we'll have to see just how much Kira are willing to lean into that. How aggressive are they wanting to play? Envy, of course, as we can see on screen now, looking to spawn peak Garage, are 3 players inside of Garage. So I don't think anyone's going to be walking in from the attack, at least from that position as of yet, but things will start to normalize, and by normal, I mean 4 players on side and Deathamar Roman.
And just to get this immediately off of my chest, but it's imperative that Kira start well here on Clubhouse, as Boydie through Con might just find the opening elimination player over towards top red. But he doesn't swing. Sees the reinforced wall and waits for maybe a mistake to happen.
Boydie can just wait. Sooner rather than later, play is going to run.
I believe it's Envy.
Yeah. Rest of the team can do work elsewhere. Oh, that's cheeky for the drone hole. Oh, Slay.
Oh, was that from behind?
I don't know. Ooh. Finds that kill. No trade. Ooh, that could be a little bit of a sheesh, but we'll get to that when it arises. Certified sheesh. Let's put that thought aside, though. We are now at the halfway point of the round, and Kaken's established himself over towards bedroom. The hard breaches congregate, have a little bit of a mid-round meeting to try and decide how they're going to bring this one back. Envy, though, doubles down. Kaken off the board. Hotshot looks to trade that, but again, can't be found. Nitro doesn't find its mark, but OJ does find his. 60 seconds now available for Ruffle.
And this is where just Ruffle need to keep their head in the game here for this round. It's still alive. It's still theirs for the taking. I know they're down a player, but certainly still winnable. Opportunity there for Death and Mar, but OJ just sneaks on by. Oh, Doctor gets caught by Alertables, and suddenly this opens the door for ROFLCOPTER. 2 players over towards top red. Envy, though, does find the down onto Hotshot. Alertables, though, catches Envy. There's another player top red, and he knows it as well. They have the information, and they get rid of Alertables finally, but Death and Mar loses most of his life for it. It's a 1 versus 1. Both players very low in OJ and Death and Mar. 30 seconds, so still a bit of time here for OJ to make something happen. And he does make something happen.
Nice. A little bit of a rough start there for Ruffle, and things not looking great, but they managed to salvage that round. And it's rounds like those where it's critical to be able to come back, put up a fight, and see if you can make the best of a bad situation. They managed to do that. We now see the DC, as I'm assuming Kira are going to tidy up any potential issues in the wardrobe department. And sooner rather than later, we should be back into the action. Kira have pre-selected CCTV and cash. I don't expect that to change. That's been the trend that we've seen thus far this afternoon. If Kira lose an objective, they're going to go back there and try it again.
Yeah, and the point that I wanted to make earlier, obviously, it's about starting well for Kira Esports. It's something they have not been able to do this entire series. Yeah, we're into the 3rd map. Yeah, they've been competitive. But one area that they've lacked significantly has been the opening rounds. They've not won any of the opening 3 rounds in this series. They started down 0-3 on Oregon, started obviously 0-5 down on Bank. So getting off to a good start, I think, is imperative here in Clubhouse, right? You just do not want to put yourself into that position again where you are constantly trying to dig yourself out of a bit of a hole. You all right, guys?
I'm good. How are you? I'm just I'm really struggling to find something right now. I'm looking for that big red button where we start the lobby again, and I seem to have misplaced it.
Oh, is that why we haven't started the game? Do you just want to like keep looking at the score screen?
I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Yep, it was on the floor.
Oh, thanks,
on
guys.
the floor. I'm sorry.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Everyone say thanks, guys, in chat.
They're not going to do that. Chat's not that good.
We head over to CCTV and Cash for the 2nd time in a row. Kira being on the defense, it is extremely important to be winning one of these 2 rounds in round 2 or 3. I mean, they've got to get on the scoreboard early here in this map. If they are down, once again, 3-0, especially them being on the defense, I'm almost prepared to call the series at that point. If Ruffle can find 3 attacking rounds before Kira get on the board. That's a long way back for them.
You're going to do a Guz-style early call. That's very anti-Xenox. Do you fall over and knock your head?
Well, I think there's a lot more to it, though, right? Obviously, Ruffle's got a better record on Clubhouse. And I think Ruffle turned it up a notch on Bank. And if they bring that form over here to Clubhouse, you also kind of give them the respect that they are probably the favored team. So starting well then on the attack as well for a defender-sided map just kind of further compounds that. It's, you know, and I don't want to understate it. This is a very important round for Kira. Generally, the objective of the attacking team on Clubhouse is to get 2 rounds. That 4-2 kind of scoreline, 4 being defenders, 2 being the attacker. And Ruffle already got 1. They got 5 more rounds to get another one. And at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, say, a 3-3 half.
ROFL establish themselves over towards the kennel balcony, and Hotshot will get to work with Blowtorch and attempt to open up that wall. It has been electrified by the Electro Claws from Slayer, fulfilling that Kaid role, but Hotshot doesn't have to worry about that too much. Takes a little bit of damage, but nothing too severe. He is having some issues with this wall.
Oh,
a little bit sloppy, but he'll be able to fix that up. Impact grenades are sent out. Doesn't really do too much damage, though. In fact, it doesn't do any at all. So Hotshot gets away with that. Opens up the wall. Weatables can now whip out that lifeline and open it up to its full extent.
Yeah, and Con again here for ROFL. No real sort of pressure over towards Garage like we saw in the last round. Again, they've elected to not do the Garage take, so really mixing it up here. Back-to-back Con takes. ROFLCOPTER.
Time to ring some.
And no real oh, I was going to say no real contest. Never mind, it does get denied, but obviously for OJ, he does have another exothermic charge. There is one more there for Envy. Does he hit it? Yes, he does.
No, he
doesn't. Oh, what?
Yeah, I don't...
Did it just not get over enough?
I don't know. I think maybe it was a little bit too deep.
I think it might have actually done most of the splash damage at the top and just not reached.
Yeah. Either way, though.
Oh, he gets the kill anyway.
Yeah. Nade from Boydie. Sends it out over towards that ace chassis. Boydie could go prone. Expose that angle underneath the box, but doesn't elect to just yet. Hotshot down elsewhere. Boydie eventually will go prone and should be a free kill, and it is easy as that. Now it's a 3v3.
Technically 3 versus 4. Hotshot can get brought back up here, and does.
Ooh, okay.
20 seconds left, and the man advantage now for ROFLCOPTER. This is not good news for Kira. There was a little chance there for Boydie, but it would have taken sharp reactions to get that one. Death of Mado does fall to OJ. Hotshot, he was down, now he's helping out OJ. The only issue here is both OJ, Hotshot low on health, but they got Weatables pushing in from that Kennel's wall. He gets the quick double, just like that, and it's why, whenever you cross the road, guys, look to your left and look to your right.
Weatables did that and said goodnight.
Oh, nice. Virtual high five.
Woo! Concerning though, for Kira. That's the 2-round pass mark achieved for ROFL. That's the same site lost twice in a row for Kira. You add that up, you put it into a calculator, and it doesn't spit out a very favorable result for the South Asian hopefuls. This is the first and last lifeline that we've seen on broadcast this afternoon for South Asia. Unfortunately, their counterparts in the off-match stream in Hunters, they lost. They got sent home packing, and as these rounds begin to mount for ROFL, unfortunately, Kira may well find themselves with that same fate. Now, I will say, chat actually did say thanks, guys, so that warms my heart quite a bit.
Nice.
That's the highlight of my day.
Thank you, chat. That's why we love you.
Wouldn't be possible without you, chat.
That's why we enabled the drops for them as well. They don't know, but it's actually us that turn it on.
That's with, so we have the red button to start the game and the blue button to enable drops.
Yep. Which are active as well. Make sure you link your accounts.
I'm logged in now. I've got to claim my packs, I think, but we'll do that later. You know, I'm obviously very focused at the job on hand. Drops the secondary.
Locate and defuse a bomb.
Job's gonna be primary.
I get paid in drops, so that's okay. I don't need them.
For Kira Esports, they honestly, not looking all that great here on Clubhouse. 2 attacking round wins for ROFL. It has just been, honestly, since Oregon, an absolute steamrolling. It technically 9-2 over the last 11 rounds. That's from the start of Bank to now in favor of ROFL. And Kira, of course, being on the defense here on Clubhouse, you would have expected them to just kind of do well to get started, but it's the same old story where it's a new map and it's ROFL fighting the opening couple of rounds, but it's Envy who finds the opening kill this particular round, gets that one onto Boydie, and honestly, for Church Arsenal, that's job done, guys. Like, now everyone, all 5 players should be down below. You've got your 1-man advantage, no more roaming, no more special little flanks. Turtle on site, you got your man advantage. Don't mess this one up, Kira.
I know, you've cursed it now, haven't you? Something's going to happen here. Something is going to dismantle all of that good work. But you're not wrong. They are in a good position now, Kira. They can chill out, stabilize, and weather the storm. And that storm likely going to come in the form of vertical play soon. But with, of course, Sledge being the one to fall, that's no doubt going to be compromised as Boyd is now sitting on the sidelines. Instead, focus needs to be put on hatches, and unfortunately, Kaken falls as well. So the ability to open triple wall with Salma's now compromised, or to open a hatch with 2 Salmas also off the board. That means that OJ and Hotshot now under even more pressure. OJ though, he doesn't succumb to it just yet. Drops Doctor.
And what's the chance there for Envy? 5-0 for OJ. Drop down and now can open up triples. Envy's taking a beating. That's Wettables. Oh, and this might be an easy kill for OJ as well. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Kira Esports have had their advantage completely dissipated. It's Death and Mart down. It's OJ and Wettables stealing it away down in Church Arsenal from a 2-man advantage for Kira Esports to a 3rd round win for ROFLCOPTER. It's 3 maps in a row now that they've gotten off to a 3-0 start.
No, not like this. Oh, no, not like this. Oh, that is so devastating for Kira. They had such a strong start, 2 opening picks, 2 great plays. But then Roffle, they fought to the death, and that's been a bit of a constant theme throughout the day, even in positions where it's almost felt unwinnable for Roffle. They've been able to bring them back, and I mean, the last even 2 rounds really, to an extent, have been good examples of that. And I think that fight and that grit has served them extremely well. A 3-0 lead, it's great. It at this point, absolutely perfect. And much like, again, the first 2 maps, this is the round that's make or break. He'll lose this, it's over.
Mate, the rounds that were make or break were probably rounds 2 and 3.
This is, well, if the nail is not already in the coffin, this is like the 10-foot nail. That's like,
they have the nail in their hand, the hammer's halfway up in the air, and they're about to nail it into the coffin if Kira cannot win this round. I'm telling you, it already feels like it's such a long way back. And it's a different tone to Oregon, because there's probably some people sitting there like, well, they did it on Oregon, right? They did come back from 3-0 down. But the problem is, on Oregon, it was Roffle winning on their defense on Oregon, right? So that was the expected outcome for Roffle to do well on the defense, to get that 4-2 half, and that's how it ended up playing out. But not on Clubhouse, unless this ends up being an attacker side of Clubhouse, which I dare say is unlikely. Roffle are off to the perfect start, and Kira very much a couple of feet into the grave at the moment, and yet that nail is almost putting its way straight into the coffin if they can't win this round and maybe bring things back.
Well, someone needs to quickly craft a ladder and get them out of this hole, otherwise it's only going to deepen. Roffle, for the most part, have been getting clean entries, free map control, off-site, manipulating that, cutting off rotations and looking good. This round really no exception. I did see a red outline though above. I think Boydie has an inkling that this Roma is on this 2nd floor position. Now on rafters. I can't quite tell who that is for the life of me. The Roffle no. Oh, Relegation does it. Still always hits the flick. If he had have hit that, I would have gone absolutely off. But Deathamar survives. Boydie though to squeeze. Misses that shot though. Deathamar has been given multiple opportunities here to stay alive. But finally, Wettables once again, like Bank, will find that kill. And it's once more a strong start for Roffle.
8-1 for Wettables, 7-0 for OJ. Ridiculous stat lines between those two right now here on Clubhouse, and we are only into the 4th round. They are playing lights out. Minute and 20 seconds remaining in the round. Roffle continue to just dominate Kira Esports ever since the end of Oregon, basically. And I guess I will say it has been such a good result for Roffle to bounce back in this way. I can't remember if it was yourself, Guz, or if it was Dev that mentioned the mental fortitude of Roffle after Oregon, but they have responded like a true team.
Oh, Envy gets away with his life. that pixel from the hatch, almost his demise, but he will survive, albeit low for the rest of the round. No Thunderbird in place, so no Kona stations to replenish. He has lost HP. ROFL now in a good position to make their way down main, and with Kaken having a Selma in hand, Doctor's probably going to be under a lot of pressure in just a moment as well. His position likely to be exposed. However, that mute gemmer on the wall may hold it back for a little bit longer. As time ticks down, the chances of Kira maybe bringing this round back continue to increase. That said, ROFL still in the driver's seat to take round 4.
Yeah. The only downside is it looks like it might be a drop-down rush play in red time, which, yes, they've got the advantage, but all it takes is Kira hitting their shots, and they should be able to then win the round. Weatherballs actually just caught a little bit here, and suddenly it is Kira that do have the numbers advantage. Yeah, Hotshot is down, he's getting the plan, but it's Kira that's finding the kills. They win the round in the end. Perseverance does pay off for Kira Esports, and while they weren't able to stop that 3-0 curse, Scars, they do finally find a round here on Clubhouse.
They're putting up a fight to some extent, and that's all you can ask for at this point in time. They've now kept the match in some realm of possibility of being able to be brought back. You can never rule a team out, particularly when we've only seen 5 rounds. But for me, Kira, they probably need to win the next 2. Anything lower than that, and it would be a minor miracle, in my opinion, for them to bring back this result. So they've done a good job to at least get something, but they need to roll this into something just a little bit bigger and a little bit more meaningful in the context of this map. I do like this transition. We'll see them go over towards Gym Bedroom for the first time in this game. They'll bring up the Pog mats as well from Frost. Quite a powerful combo on this particular objective, with so many vaultable windows that need to be checked when you want to enter a late round. And if you're looking at the ground for a trap, you're more than likely going to get shot in the head by someone watching that particular vault. Outside of that, the composition looking pretty straightforward. Expect Kira to extend themselves over towards Cash, apply some pressure CCTV, and we'll see ROFL systematically attempt to try and dislodge that, gain map control, and squeeze out any remaining defenders on the site.
It's going to be the first time we see Gym Bedroom as well here on Clubhouse. Obviously, we had Cash and CCTV twice, Church Arsenal twice. And so far, the one downside for ROFL has been Kagan, Boydie, and Hotshot have not really been able to get into the action here on Clubhouse. It has very much been the OJ and Wettables show, and if those two slow down a little bit, you just wonder if maybe that might leave the door ajar for Kira Esports. Conwall opened up. So far, it'll just be basically ticking off the checklist here for ROFLCOPTER. Eventually, they'll rotate over towards Jacuzzi as well.
Oh, there's a... Okay, it's Envy tucked in the corner. I almost thought he was actually inside of CCTV. Peaks nonetheless, and OJ, who has been looking so sharp, 7-1, just misses that particular headshot. Kaken with the pre-fire through the garage door. Does not hit either.
Drop and run.
He'll take your advice.
Yeah, otherwise it was going to be the same outcome as what we saw from Deathabar in the last round, where he got stuck up in rafters. And it was easy for ROFL to then sort of just corral him and then basically catch him out. So at the very least, yeah, Envy takes a bit of a hit. They eventually get the Oberdin pick through Deathamar. Does get traded out, but at least they're forcing the issue nice and early. 1-for-1's not too bad. They were always going to lose top red and Cash pretty quickly. Minute and a half remaining. So far, I think this is pretty good for Kira. And actually, with Hotshot gone, I mean, I didn't quite see the very beginning of this round. I was looking at the old DevMarta TM match tracker. But have they opened up Jacuzzi?
Good question.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
Don't think so.
They definitely haven't, now that we've quickly just seen that. So no Jacuzzi opened up. Does make things more difficult for ROFL. With a minute left, Kira definitely in the driver's seat right now.
For sure. 60 seconds now, Kaken with the diffuser in hand. Keep in mind those frost mats are up as well, and there's a fair chance ROFL will be forced into faults, so keep that in mind as they look to enter site. OJ, though, wins another one. 8-1 in this particular map thus far. Wettables as well has been going large. Double digits in round number 5. Envy and Rhymes to try and hold on, but unfortunately it's now Envy all alone.
yeah, disappointing finish to the round for Kira Esports when things looked like they were going their way. Ruffle just kick it up a notch and win their ones, win those battles, even despite not having Jacuzzi opened up. 4-1 scoreline in favor of ROFLCOPTER. And it just seems like now the task is going to be too great for Kira Esports. In some ways, I feel like this mirrors our first best of 3 that we had today, guys. The Sengoku and Team Viper matchup, where Sengoku were the bad team, but Viper managed to push them to a 3rd map regardless, and it feels like it's played out that way again here. I think Ruffle's been the better team, but Kira obviously had a incredible comeback on Oregon, but it's been mostly ROFLCOPTER.
Things just continually go from bad to worse here for Kira Esports and for South Asia, who have fought fiercely throughout last year and prepping into this year for this particular opportunity, and it does feel like it is currently being taken out of their hands by a ROFLCOPTER roster who have stepped up when required today. They started off slow, they started off sloppy, they were no doubt having to battle their demons after the conclusion of the first map, where they forfeited 5 match points in total, but the 2 maps after that have been a very, very different story.
And the other thing with this, and it's a bit of a long winding story, but for South Asia, again, if Kira can't win here, it will be yet another day at the APAC level where they don't make it past day 1. Obviously with the Hunters going out earlier this afternoon to the last dance, Kira go out here. No South Asian teams moving forward for not only obviously the promo relegations, but all of APAC South for 2022.
Gym Bedroom will be the battleground for round number 6, the last in the half, the last opportunity for Kira to try and make something of this map, and an opportunity on the contrasting side for ROFLCOPTER to double down here and really solidify their position. Not quite guarantee the series victory, but get very, very close to doing so. Good start over towards Jacuzzi. They open that up. Footholes over towards Bathroom Cake. And oh, wow. What an opening pick. Good news for Deathamar. He doesn't die first in this round, but it isn't good news for Kira as a whole.
Poor Deathamar. Maybe he can find a couple of kills in this round and redeem himself a little bit. It's been a brave effort from Kira Esports over the course of this best of 3 series. But I tell you what, Bank and Clubhouse have just been incredibly one-sided. And it's good news for Ruffle, bringing this form into tomorrow. As long as they, of course, close out this map, they will be playing Sharper Esport in the 2nd round. Doctor finds the headshot onto Kaken. Oh, and then Rhymes with Buck will take out Boydie, and just like that, it's a 4-2 advantage for Kira Esports, and Deathamar finds another kill. Hotshot and Wedables, especially Wedables at 10-2 and 1. Don't count him out yet. Hotshot takes a bit of damage. Needs to get Wedables on the window. See if he can find a free kill or 2 to just reel things back in. Does so. With the elimination of Ryans, it's now 2 versus 3 with 45 seconds, and there is Wedables from the window to the wall. Gets the kill onto Deathamar.
Stop exposing yourselves to the windows. There are so many positions that they can hold that do not expose to that balcony. We see the rotation come through. Hotshot to lead the charge over towards Cash. Wedables on the con window to lock down the fort. Doctor and Slayer, they've repositioned nicely. They have some safety over towards the north. They need to just play off one another. Play patiently with 20 seconds left.
15 seconds remaining.
Well, Hotshot goes in. Wedables will watch and knows exactly where they're going to come from. Doesn't quite land the shots that he needed to, though. Well played from Doctor. Gets the double. The big one was landing that shot there onto Wedables, and then, of course, that puts Hotshot into basically an unwinnable position. And Kira are not done with yet. It's a 2-4 half in favor of Ruffle. But, of course, Ruffle were able to accomplish that scoreline on their attacking side. If it had been their defense, we would obviously be in a completely different state of mind. Now, this would need to basically now be an attacker-sided clubhouse, guys, if we are to go to OT. That's a rarity.
Sure is. Still a very tall mountain in the face of Kira that they will need to try and make that trek over. And I will say, even that last particular round there was so scary. 2 versus 4, down to the 2v2. Wedables, I really thought that he connected the headshot there on that player for Kira executing the clutch in Doctor, but didn't quite hit the mark, and unfortunately for ROFL, unable to really establish true dominance in that first half. And Kira now with a lifeline of sorts. I wouldn't say it's the strongest of lifelines by any stretch of the imagination, but it's also not out of the realm of possibility for them to maybe win an opening attack here and really apply a bit of pressure in this series. ROFL haven't been under all that much pressure for the last little hour or so. Bank was pretty cruisy, the start of this map pretty cruisy as well, and maybe if Kira can apply the blowtorch a little bit here in round 7 at least, then we can really see a series be made of this one.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, and whatever Kira's got left now, you throw everything at ROFL. Any little tricks that maybe you've been saving over 2021, you use them now. It's not out of the question. Not impossible. I mean, the way that Wedables and OJ are playing, it's hard to see how Kira are going to be able to stop those two in particular. And then when you kind of get Boydie and Cake and firing as well as Hotshot, it's a difficult team to stop, but it's all about finding that momentum, finding that hope and belief that you can bring it back, that the scoreline doesn't matter. Just be like the Chiefs, just don't even look at the scoreboard, I should say.
First of those secondary hard breach charges, I believe, denied on the kitchen hatch by an impact nade. Hot shot, Nitro, bang. Good start once again for ROFL, but Guys, fun fact sponsored by DevMata. 0% conversion rate for opening kills in this game. 0! If you get the opening kill, so far you win 0% of those rounds. Absolutely wild stat. In contrast, map 2, we had 9 rounds played. That only happened in 1 round. So far, that's happened 6 times.
I just can't get over the Guys, fun fact sponsored by DevMata. Well, we'll see if that continues to ring true. Stats and records are there to be broken, though. And ROFL in this position, Church Arsenal up 5-4 with a minute left. Surely of all of those opening round conversions, this is the one that ends up being a round win. Surely, Gus.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's going to be... What's the percentage number now?
I would say there's about a 10% chance.
10%?
5% now.
Doctor does take out Boydie. Caken, though, nice shot at the
About
Slayer.
1%.
And no real chance there for
0%.
Doctor. ROFL take the round. They take the conversion. They take a 5-2 lead.
Question now is, what's the chance of Kira being able to bring back this series? Unfortunately, the first round in the second half not really instilling too much confidence in that comeback train. It has well and truly been decommissioned, and Kira struggling in the last couple of hours to really get inroads on the Oceanic rivals. We head over towards CCTV cash for round number 8. ROFLCOPTER on the verge of match point.
And a deserved match point as well. When we think about Bank 7-2 scoreline, Clubhouse 5-2 scoreline, and even looking back to Oregon, they were up 4-1. And yeah, they capitulated a little bit in the back half. In that second half, Kira were amazing, and including the overtime portion of that second half. So definitely a deserved map win for Kira. But even that, they had to go to all 15 rounds was needed for that. If ROFL just win out one extra round in OT, then yeah, they obviously would have 2-0'd this. And I think in reality, the way that it has played out, the result probably is closer to a 2-0 than probably what the 2-1 scoreline ends up being. But that's not really a slight on Kira. They deserved that win on Oregon. It's just that Bank and Clubhouse have both been incredibly one-sided in favor of ROFLCOPTER. And in some ways expected as well. You know, at the end of the day, Oregon was the map pick for Kira Esports. Bank was the map pick then for Roffle. And Clubhouse, statistically, Roffle's the team that has better results on it in the last few months. So everything really in this series has probably played out as expected. There hasn't really been anything that would have probably surprised us.
Yeah, in terms of the end result, probably not. The way in which it played out, perhaps, been a little bit strange here and there, especially that first map is probably going to give me nightmares, but it is what it is. We find ourselves here, round 8, map 3. Kira on the attack, once again bringing the Amaru. I have to say, the Amaru has not been doing it at all for me today. It has not had a significant impact. The actual primary gadget itself and the grapple hasn't really played its part. Secondary hard breach does offer something, but even that's been a little bit limited. Rhyme's going upside down with the hole breached. If he gets shot here, this is going to be pretty embarrassing. Does, but also survives. Not sure what the play is there to go upside down, and Rhymes has now just made this even more difficult. I don't know what the go is. Both Hotshot and Rhymes having some issues with the Maverick, but I do think inevitably the wall will get opened elsewhere. Death of Mark, he gets the opening kill.
Death of Mark.
Whoa! Settle down. And it's on the Wettables. He gets his revenge.
Hey, it's been a long couple of hours for Death of Mark against Wettables. At the very least, he can walk away getting some revenge. This map is not over.
Oh no.
You win this, it's 5-3.
Oh,
now
no.
you got a 2-man advantage as well here in the 8th round.
Wait,
so
hold that thought though. Guz Fun Facts sponsored by Dev Marta.
God, here we
in
go.
rounds where Death of Mark gets an opening kill, they have a 0% win rate, so don't get too far ahead of yourself.
How many times has he got the opening kill? 1?
I don't know. 4.
4?
This is the 4th.
Is it?
I don't question the stat man.
Okay. No, I wouldn't question it yet. No, it is actually 4. Wow. So I guess the reason why I was saying that is because 0% from 4 is different from 0% from 1. Obviously. Still a minute left. But no Wettables. And a Kira Esports team that can maybe just thrive on not having to worry anymore and just let the shackles loose a little bit. Doctor takes out Hotshot. This round has fallen away from ROFLCOPTER. Kaken at least brings one back and brings Daff to Amar. OJ, that was a little bit interesting, and Envy will punish him. Kaken top red and now dead. And Kira will take out this round on Cash and CCTV. It's a 5-3 scoreline.
Well, thanks, Dev, for that useless start.
That's 2 stats in a row that Dev has provided that has then been broken.
You could twist that into a positive. But I'm not going to. He doesn't deserve it.
So we head to Gym Bedroom now for the 9th round. It's still so important for Kira to keep racking up these round wins. If they can honestly get back-to-back round wins here, bring it to 5-4. There'd be 4 of the last 6 rounds. There's hope. There's a chance. There's belief.
It's a fleeting chance, but it exists. It's a dim light bulb in an otherwise dark room really here for Kira, but you never know. Siege is a very funny game.
If you want a Xenox fun fact...
Whoa, what's happening to Wettables? Whoa, what's happening to OJ? What is this? What's happening? I have never seen this before. What? It looks like they've got capes. Sorry.
No, I'm as perplexed as you.
That's a new one.
That is a new one, actually. Is that going to be like that for the whole...
What actually is it?
I've never seen that before.
That is super weird.
5 seconds to go.
Interesting.
Anyway, back to my wonderful Xenox fun fact. So far, the way that this map has played out is playing out in the exact same order as the Oregon game. 3-0 to Roffle, then Kira got 1, then Roffle got 1, then Kira got 1, and now we're up to the point where then Roffle get 1, and then obviously Kira get 3 in a row. So Xenox fun fact then, we are tracking in the same direction as Oregon. So don't give up on Kira Esports just yet, they're not out of it. And also, Ruffle quite literally look like they're stuck in mud at the moment.
Well, Deathmar, he'll get to work with the soft breach. He is the key to the master plan here for Kira Esports. If he gets the opening kill once again, well, they've got a 100% win rate of that occurring on this particular map. And that's a fact. Only one round in terms of the pool of data, but ignore that. Rhymes with the blowtorch over towards Kennels. I believe he must have opened the wall. He's now going to aid over towards Jacuzzi. Get rid of that mute jammer, and Boydie, the mute himself, will be dealt with as well on the balcony. Invi low on HP, but he wins out that fight, lifeline in hand, trying to find that kill, but doesn't do so. Now needs to be careful. Do not throw away your life to find this pick. He doesn't. That's well played, and Boydie inevitably will bleed out.
Well, this would actually go off script if Kira can actually win this round. The script being that of what happened on Oregon. And I've got to say, if an OT does beckon, I would probably back in Kira at that point. Doctor, further damage. Obviously, Boydie did not bleed out. He is back up. He is alive, but low on health. And same with Kaken. Invi is low too. Minute left into the round.
Pressure down below. Pressure on main stairs. A lot of pressure across the board here and across the objective from Kira. Boydie actually has been recovered, but he'll be low on HP. Now monitoring that Jim jump in. Frostmat's still on the board. Could that be the demise of Kira? Have they overlooked that potential?
Oh, Slayer.
Frags come out. Trades as well. Still pressure from down below, and Boydie wins that fight onto Deathmar. Now Invi and Slayer to try and clutch up 2v2.
Oh, it's so close towards the end of the round. Slayer's got 3 in a 1 versus 1. It's a full health Wettables. 12-4 and 1. Slayer has to plant. There's not much time. Wettables can't really see him at first glance. It's going to give time maybe for Slayer. No. No time at all. A little anticlimactic. He'll get the extra kill. Why not? Rack up the points. And it's going to be 3 match points for ROFLCOPTER, as it was on Oregon in our first map. And honestly, they've been teabagging since the very first round of this series.
Since the first kill of this series that was established, and it came back to bite them actually in that first map, come to think of it. But I don't think, surely at this point, it will come back to bite Ruffle here on map 3. It's map point.
But they've been in this position before.
No, they haven't. Not quite. Kind of, I guess.
It was the exact same position on Oregon. Ruffle were up 6-3.
Yeah, but Kira,
well, obviously they were
Kira,
on the different side of things. Yes.
Kira are also playing like their monitors are on this map, but they weren't on the first map. I think we can agree on that. It was not great.
Look, I just want to see this go to overtime, guys. Okay, don't ruin my dreams.
Need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
We won't finish before 12. Definitely won't finish before 10.
Not a possibility. But a big possibility for Ruffle to get the job done here and try to go to bed early. Hey, we'll be playing again tomorrow. I don't know what time actually that they will be playing. I would imagine it's not too early. Actually, it looks like it's tomorrow night, so there you go.
Left.
A lot in our plate tomorrow. Some very exciting games up for grabs. I wish I could tell you which game we're casting, but I've actually forgotten.
I
so
believe
I'm gonna have to double check.
I believe tomorrow is actually APAC North Day. We've got.
Oh, we have Pav versus Sengoku off the bat. Oh, that's a strong Japanese rivalry. That'll go pretty hard.
And T1 versus Reject as Reject knocked out Recon Esports. I'm actually not sure if any of us on the broadcast.
Whoa! Spoiler! Spoiler! Whoa! Hashtag cancel Xenox.
Well, it happened like hours ago.
That's disappointing.
If it's on Liquipedia, it's public. Don't blame me. I'm also sorry.
Should be very exciting tomorrow, but today has not quite concluded just yet. It's a basement defense here for Ruffle. They've brought out the Pulse. They'll have a lot of information. OJ as well is having a picnic upstairs, looking for something to munch on, and I'm sure sooner rather than later he will find something. Don't know exactly where Kira's scattered around at the moment, but it looks like they're going for a pretty traditional kitchen control. OJ lurking, finds a drone, makes his way down main, and that's a smart calculated play. Pretty conserved. He could have maybe held onto the stairs for a bit longer, potentially find a drone or two, but instead he just falls back. He leans into the 5v5 and the nature of this site being tricky sometimes to trade out.
And whoa, it's an opportunity with that nitrous ult. Kaken got there a little bit late. Doesn't matter still.
Is it not that exciting?
No, that was not worth it. I know you've been waiting for a good moment, but that was not it. Envy's actually back up, so didn't even get the kill.
Sorry.
Watch, there's going to be like some amazing moment at the end of this round. You can't do it again, by the way. Like, that's it. You've lost your opportunity.
Okay.
5-5, minute 15. Nitrous ult in hand for Hot Shot. Of course, Envy does not want to be anywhere near that. Otherwise, it will spell his demise. Still time here, but the longer it dwindles down, the better chances for ROFLCOPTER. And Boydie with the opening kill. Deathmar low. He wins the fight against Wettables. Goes down over towards blue. Boydie low as well.
Attackers have recovered.
Rhymes with Buck picks up the diffuser, and Boydie goes down to Rhymes with Buck. It's suddenly an opportunity for Kira to keep this game alive. Doctor can't win that one. A critical 1v1. Deathmar's down and out for the count. Maybe the entirety of Kira Esports to follow. Envy creeps on through. Low on health. Rhymes is still up in kitchen as well. Envy's down. That's going to be not only this round, but the entire series. Rhymes with Buck runs out of luck. It is indeed ROFLCOPTER moving forward. 2-1 win.
It was a rough start for Roffle, but they're too good in the end. A strong bank and a strong clubhouse to follow. That sends South Asia packing. They will not be in APAC South for 2022, but the run continues for Roffle.